And welcome everyone to session 8 of Mechwarrior Destiny Salvaged Destiny, a Mechwarrior Destiny actual play starring these four amazing gentlemen on the bottom of your screens there. It's four amazing gentlemen. And what's really exciting is that this is actually the season finale of part 1 or season 1. I don't know if we're doing seasons. It's different from Star Trek, but this is going to be the season finale or the part 1 finale of part 1 of our story here that we're telling with these awesome folks. And it's going to be a doozy. There's going to be some craziness. There's going to be some fighting. There's going to be some role playing, as is common in a role playing game. But enough out of this old hound dog, or hound wolf, as it were. Let's hear from our awesome players, my awesome friends on the bottom of the screen. And let's hear about who they are and what characters are playing. And then we'll get into the story here. Lawrence, you're up first.
Okay. Hi, I'm Hourly B or Anders and playing Lawrence. And yeah, I'm the surly Germanic martial master of this new motley crew.
Hey, how's it going? I am Strom. You can find me at Strom Plays on Twitch and YouTube. I'm playing Willow, who is, well, I keep saying he's an asshole, but he tends to be, these days, more heartfelt and just a good guy. I don't know. It feels icky saying that. Ugh.
Tastes weird in the mouth.
Yeah.
Cyprian.
Hi, I'm Steve. I'm generally not on the internet, obviously, apart from this. I'll be playing Cyprian, who has gained a new commanding officer. Unfortunately, it's his dad, so that's great.
Great.
He's best at home in the mech bay, sorting out and helping the mech techs repair all of the mechs rather than actually being the mech pilot himself. But he is a mech pilot, so he's going to stick with it.
You did one shot a Warhammer though, I'm pretty sure.
Did one shot.
Yeah.
Did one shot Warhammer. So
Yes.
I'm pretty sure by accomplishments, Willow's the worst pilot in the Lance.
It's not a competition.
It's just you're losing. So yeah.
That's just we're all it's all of us.
It's
So-
just that you've been elected leader, and I don't know how well that reflects on our chances.
Listen, you don't need to shoot good in order to give out orders.
look,
This
we're
is
all one
true.
team.
This is
We're
true.
all one team working together, guys.
That's right.
All right.
And I guess I'll go now. I don't know how I could possibly follow that. But hey guys, I'm Aaron. I'm playing Callum Van Buren. He is a scout mech pilot. And he's sort of taken on training responsibilities with Lawrence to get some of the new blood trained on the use of mechs. He's also found himself with a new commanding officer. Unfortunately, it's Cyprian's dad.
Nobody
it.
likes Cyprian's dad.
You know what? He's a
That's
pretty
not
okay
true.
guy though. Like, I mean, he hasn't been too pushy. He's letting you
such
guys
a
kind of
nut.
do your thing. He's feeling out the ropes. And
Willow really likes Cyprian's dad.
he's a great guy.
Thinks
a
he's
good guy.
really funny.
Yeah. So he also promoted you to, like, you know, second in command. So I mean, there's probably a good relationship going on there, right? Like, you know this guy? I like the cut of his jib. That guy. That guy's good. Yeah, it reminds me of an old boss I used to have. There you go.
Hey, Cyprian, you mind if I call him Dad from now on?
Take him.
Oh,
He's yours. He's yours.
oh.
Take him.
That's really funny.
Take him. He can belittle you instead now.
Oh my stars. Oh my stars.
The only thing is if his dad starts calling Willow Cyprian, or if he keeps calling Cyprian and calls Willow Good Cyprian.
Good Cyprian. The Cyprian I wish I had. Yeah, there it is. Cyprian I wish I had.
Like Dad, if you call him Good Cyprian, it's gonna make it seem like I'm bad Cyprian. Well, you screwed up this hip actuator, didn't you, BC?
BC. That's it. I'm just going to be BC.
Oh my god, GC and BC. There it is. I feel like there's a song that we could make a parody of on that one, but I digress. So we're going to open our scene in the newly partially refit. It actually has a couple of gantries from mechs that were installed by the by some of the employees of Kelly, the extra merchant. And while it is not fully refit to be battle tech or a Mechwarrior's dropship, it's not a full mech dropship. It's about 50% of the way there, and a couple more weeks in the repair bay, in the refit bay over at Exter. This will be once again an actual dropship designed for dropping mechs into combat, which is super exciting. But Dina seems in a surprisingly good mood, Callum. A surprisingly good mood. She's not muttering to herself. She's not banging. She's not trying to add additional armor plates to places that don't need it. She's just standing in front of your Hellhound, Callum, with a clipboard and just very calmly, very methodically, just check, check, check. Do we make sure that the ammunition's all installed? Good. Okay, good. Excellent. And armor plating has been reinforced. Okay, good. Yes, excellent. Excellent. Oh, Callum. Hi. She's almost ready for combat. Just a couple more additional checklists, and we'll be all set. And also, might I say, good morning. You're looking very well today.
Are you all right?
Yeah, doing great. How are you?
Fine. About to go, I'm going to go get shot at some point in the very near future. So
you're one of the best pilots that we have. You're going to do an absolute great job. Great job. What I'm going to have you do here, Callum, and I'm not even going to make you roll for this, but as you get a little bit closer to her, you notice that Dina's eyes are very dilated in this moment. And I'll let you put two and two together, but she seems in a really, really good mood. I'm talking borderline uncomfortably good mood. The jitteriness that you see in her, this kind of like always on edge Dina, everything, the worshiping that she does. She's just happier than a pig in mud.
Okay.
She's just as pleased as
All
punch.
right. Yeah, Dina, can I see you over here?
Oh, of
for
course.
A second.
Yeah. Yes, sir. She does a little salute and she goes, "Oh, just 1 second. Hey, Billy. Yeah, Billy. Just make sure that the targeting system, just make sure that it's fully realigned. That's yep. There was a slight 0.2 variance. Yeah. Hey, Billy, you're doing a great job. Thanks, Billy. Yep. Billy up in there, one of the like lesser mech techs, just does a like, and then gives you a look like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it. But Dina steps away from the mech with you, clipboard tucked under her left arm, just kind of almost frolicking a little bit, just kind of like, la, da, 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 da. She does a little sachet, just feeling good, feeling pleased as pig, pleased as pig in mud. What can I do for you, Callum?
Yeah, what are you on right now?
I'm on, what? What do you mean, what am I on? I'm on duty, sir.
Not this. What's all this?
Those are my eyes, sir.
Yeah, but they're sort of doing this.
Doing what?
You think
and
this?
as you say
you
that,
think
her
this?
eyes do a little bit of like readjusting.
All right, look, I know you're having a hard time and everything, but do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
All right, and the next time I see you in this mech bay, be straight.
As an arrow, sir. And she salutes.
Oh my god. All right, listen, I'll just put this in another way. Yeah, shit's bad. I get it, but we're on the up, okay? We're on the up. Don't worry about it. You don't need to like medicate like this.
I'm feeling super up, sir. Thanks to Lieutenant Willow, sir.
Huh. Carry on. And
sir,
yeah.
yes, sir. And she
I was
salutes.
gonna go find Willow.
And she kind of like frolics off a little bit. And she's like, all right, mech techs, let's get back to work. And everyone's like, yay. It is uncomfortable. It is awkward. It is a thing. Richie is off next to Centurion, where he is mostly working. As you pass by him, Callum, he just gives you a little tip of his invisible hat. But as you get close to the exit of the mech bay, you see that you've got Tom over there. You've got Lawrence, who is maybe just working with Tom because I believe the plan was, Lawrence, that you were going to have some of the younger mech pilots act as a distraction, but I'm going to give you guys a chance to finalize the battle plan prior to landing on the planet, prior to landing on on this like kind of desert mining world, as it were. But as you were over there with Tom, Tom looks over to you, Lawrence, and we're just kind of pivoting over from Callum as he makes his way towards the exit. But as we pivot over to you, you see Tom he's up in the cockpit. The door is open, like the kind of side door is open on the javelin there, and he shouts down and he says, "So just to get this straight, shooting's not as important as speed in this run. Is that a fair assessment?"
Yeah, that would be a fair assessment for the scenario, for at least these mechs.
So, I mean, we do have time. I mean, I could offload some of the weapons, add a little extra armor, but with the extra weight lost from some of the weapons off, we could probably get an extra 5 to 10 kilometers per hour out of this thing.
That will definitely be helpful. I say don't make it toothless, but yeah, lose some of the weapons on that. But don't. They're probably gonna go back in. Don't throw them away. For better. For
Oh
lack of a
no,
better
I mean
term.
we'll just put them in storage, Lawrence. We're not gonna throw anything away. I just I gotta ask, and I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but give me 1 second. And he actually climbs down the little chain ladder, kind of hoofs down, walks over to you, and he gets close, and he says, you know, he's got a rag, he's kind of wiping away a little bit of like grease, maybe just some grime from where he's been working. He says, "Are we sure this is a good idea? I mean, I know these kids, like they're showing some promise, man, but putting them in actual combat, I mean, this feels kind of like, are we this desperate? I don't know."
I agree. Honestly, I would rather put one of us in a light mech and then have the rest of us back the other lance up, back him up,
Mhm.
than put one of these kids in there. Where they've only gotten like what 3 weeks in like training,
Like 3 weeks in
sims.
training. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
correct. Yep.
Yeah, I would. So knowing that, having been involved with that, yeah, Lawrence is gonna object to sending the kids out in the light mech. He would volunteer over that, or he would suggest that Callum go in because he's the scout lance guy. He's the speedy man. He's the one who drove the wolfhound.
Look, I'm just a mech tech, all right? I fix these things when you guys blow them up, and I don't mean that offensively, but if it was my opinion, look, he's a little green, obviously. I mean, he's young, but if you have to choose, and if none of you are gonna take control of this light mech here, I think you should give Bruce a chance. Unlike his sister, he's not such a hothead, you know, and he'll do what he's told. He wants to prove himself, but I don't think he wants to prove himself to the point where he's gonna do something stupid. But again, that's just my opinion, and like I said, I just fix these things. But he's a good kid. He's got heart. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. If one of them wants to go out and fight with us, I would suggest Bruce because, because he's good at maneuvering, even though that might be related to the fact that has to deal with that weak leg.
Look, I don't mean to be poking around, but I've looked at the battle ROMs. He can't hit shit. He is a terrible shot, but he often gets out of there with maybe a scrape in every single combat scenario that he goes into. So I'm thinking, you know, unlike his sister, who, yeah, she'll take out 3, but she ends up blowing up. This kid, I mean, if you're looking for someone to just play a distraction, I don't know. And again, I'm not the battle guy here. I'm just the guy that fixes stuff, and I hope I'm not overstepping my bounds, sir.
No, you're right to raise concerns. We want to keep everybody around here in fit shape. So
Well, hey,
we're not on planet yet. We're just, or well, we are on planet, but we're not.
you're
out
like in orbit
from,
of Lyman.
yeah.
You are
Oh, we are, okay.
ready to go down. You've got maybe a day or so prior to actually landing on the planet. You're just preparing. But yeah, that's where you guys are at. So I'd like to actually pivot back over to near the exit, where Callum, you've crossed by. You see Thomas climb down. You see he's talking to Lawrence, and then we move the camera once again over to you as you were walking out, and walking into the mech bay is a character that we haven't met before. This is Esme. Esme, who is actually going to be the mech company's attorney, as it were. Because any good mech company needs someone that knows the law very well. Maybe helps with finalizing documentation, contracts, things like that. Looks it over, and she walks in. She is actually, since it was your NPC you created, Callum, why don't you give us a brief description of her, and then we'll pick up the scene from there.
I mean, sure, yeah. She's a brunette lady who seems to be of a sort of a mixed Asian, Middle Eastern background. Carries herself with an air of smug superiority. Sort of looks down her nose at everybody and everything. However, the sort of odd refinements that she managed to escape Paris for with are sort of contrasted by how she's, like most other people, are forced to wear just these sort of coveralls or fatigues or anything that was available on the jump ship. So she's trying to affect an image of superiority, and it's really coming across instead like she's trying to hold on to something that she doesn't have anymore.
I love it. So she walks in, her nose held a little bit high, hair pulled back into a very tight, neat ponytail, but there's also a bit of color in her hair. She's got like a strip of color, so there's a little bit of playfulness in the way that she presents herself as well. But you can see she's wearing this red leather jacket that looks a little bit torn, a little bit like beaten up. Not torn, but a little beaten up. It's kind of got that crinkly leatherness from an old leather jacket, but she's wearing it as though it is like a brand new suit. Like she's got that air of superiority, like you described. But she walks and she says, "Oh, Callum, actually the man I was just looking for. We're just finalizing our submission to the Mercenary Review Board. They had a couple additional questions. Where were you born? What year? And what were your parents' maiden names?"
I was born on Jabuka.
Jabuka.
Free Russellhog Republic.
Free Russellhog Republic. Maiden names?
Well, my father didn't have one. His name was always Van Buren. He was born with that one.
Van Buren.
My mother, Jensum.
Jensum. Perfect. Any known allergies, diseases, anything that runs in the family, any other problems, anything like that?
No,
Okay,
nothing
perfect.
physical.
Excellent. And let's see, what was the final question? Call sign.
Harrier.
Harrier. Okay, perfect. Excellent. All right, that looks good. Yeah, the Mercenary Review Board just had a couple additional questions. It's all standard policy, standard procedure, and yeah, just want to say really appreciate this opportunity to support the new company in this manner, and I look forward to working with you. And she's going to extend her hand to shake yours.
Yeah, he'll shake her hand.
Mhm.
Yeah, the pleasure's all mine. I'm sorry. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Esme. I'm the company's
Oh.
lawyer, attorney.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
finalizing details, contracts with the Mercenary
Right,
Review Board. We want to
right,
make sure
right.
all the T's are crossed, I's are dotted. I mean, a little bit, not anything you need to worry about. A little bit above your pay grade, but it's totally fine. Don't even worry about it.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad we've got somebody qualified to handle these things.
Qualified. Oh, you're cute. I like you. All right. Have you seen? Oh, there he is, Lawrence. 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 Couple additional questions, and Esme is going to walk away from you, as almost ignoring you in this moment as she
Good.
scurries off. But she walks over to Lawrence and she says, Lawrence, just the man I was looking for. Esme, attorney for the company. I got a couple additional questions that we're finalizing as far as our mercenary application. We are in pending status currently, but we're trying to move into that legitimacy kind of status, full approval. We're acting, with conditions at this point. We're trying to get those conditions finalized so we can move beyond that kind of preliminary moment. So, where were you born?
I was born on Robinson.
Robinson, perfect. Parents' maiden names?
Parents' maiden names are Weber.
Weber, perfect, excellent. Mother's maiden name?
Oh, well, that was also the Weber.
Your parents were related?
No, it's a very odd arrangement. Father took my mother, so I apologize. Father's maiden name is Lowenthal.
Right. Lowenthal. Interesting. Any known allergies, diseases, anything that runs in the family?
None that I am aware. Blood type is O negative.
Very good.
And that might be important.
Perfect. Yep. Actually, it's one thing I forgot to. Crap, he's gone. I'm gonna go have to find Callum again here. No problem. But yeah, Esme, I'm gonna be the company's lawyer. Just want to say it's an absolute honor and pleasure to be working with you. Very excited to bring a little bit of order to the chaos that is our lives right now. Oh, it's great. And she's gonna extend her hand to shake yours.
He'll shake her hand.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, so if you ever need anything as far as contract finalization, I am a licensed notary as well, but I'll be handling any of the legal paperwork when it comes to, collateral damage, finalizing contracts, etc. And I just want to say it's a pleasure to be working with you all. The Sergeant Major has spoken very highly of each of you. And yeah, just want to say, any questions I can answer here for you here today?
None.
Excellent. Well, hey, you enjoy the rest of your day, and I just want to say, good luck out there, soldier. You do your best. All right? Okay. And she's gonna pivot away and walk away from you as well. And as she walks away, we are gonna pivot over to where is Willow? Willow is meeting with the children. Where would Willow be meeting with the children? Would you be in the store? Would you be in the quarters? Would you maybe be in the meeting room, looking at the hollow projector of the planet? What would you be doing?
Yeah, the meeting room.
Meeting room? I like that.
Willow would have called him to the meeting room.
I think that's fantastic. So let me go ahead and pivot you over here. I gotta change a couple of pictures on here for you. But in the meantime, why don't you go ahead and take the scene? And you've got both the young boy and his sister in the room with you. So take it away, my friend.
All right. This is the situation we find ourselves in. There's hostages that we need to extract preferably without anyone getting killed. But there's only 4 of us, and there's a fair number of pirates in there. So this is the preliminary plan that we came up with. We need a distraction. And that's where you two come in.
Okay. Both children kind of perk up in this moment. They kind of just perk up a little bit. The young girl seems a lot more interested, a lot more energetic about what's being discussed. The young man, Grayson, Bruce seems a little more nervous, a little more unsure of himself. He's kind of wringing his hands together a little bit, rubbing his knuckles, kind of like he's nervous, right? But Sam has leaned over and she's looking at the planet with this intensity of wow. So where are we going to be dropping in? Which mech do I get to pilot? Are we going to be having any? Is there going to be combat? Are we going to have to shoot anybody? Oh, this is awesome! I didn't think I'd be able to actually get down on the ground in actual combat for so long. Oh my gosh! Lawrence has been saying that we're not going to be able to go actually fighting for at least months, maybe even years before. Oh, this is awesome! This is so cool! Oh my gosh, Bruce, it's happening! We're actually going to be mech pilots.
Lawrence is still right. You're not going to be fighting probably for months or years. This is not a simulation. If you get shot, it's going to be a real damage. If you get killed, that's it. But there's no coming back from that. I know you two from Lawrence and Callum. I see you've got talent. You've got potential. Frankly, I don't want to put you in this situation, but we're facing a bit of overwhelming odds, and we need to even the score.
Mhm.
I don't want you guys in the fight. We're gonna put some sensor ghosts on them on your mechs. You're gonna go in there. You're gonna be masquerading as a bigger force than you are, and you're gonna lure some away, and you're gonna go as fast as you can, as far as you can, in the opposite direction once you get their attention. And I don't want you doing anything heroic. I don't want you doing anything to try and prove yourself. You've already proven yourself. You're in the pilot. We're relying on you, and it's important. And Willow will look directly at the girl and say, no one can protect your brother if you're dead, and you need to remember that.
She has been ignoring, all but ignoring you, just looking at the holographic display. You know, she's just nodding. Yep, nothing heroic. As soon as you mention her brother, no one can protect your brother if you're dead. Both her and Bruce, Sam and Bruce, both look up at you. And I need you to go ahead and roll either negotiations. I'm going to say it's going to have to be negotiations in this moment.
I always gotta find that macro button.
Oh, beautiful. There is you can tell on Sam's face, there is this final realization. She locks eyes with you for a moment. Her eyebrows kind of, they sink a little bit, almost like she's frowning. And then she looks over at her brother, and there is this almost element of wateriness in her eyes. She's not going to cry. She's not actually crying, but there is this realization of the responsibility she has. You can see it on her face to him. He is just very intensely looking at the holographic display that is zoomed in on this kind of, more of a rock than an actual planet. There's very little atmosphere, but it's full of, natural resources where they have these mining operations. But he's zoomed in, and he finally does look up at you, Callum, and as he goes to ask a question, he says, so where are we? The doors open up, and in walks Callum. Callum, you've been looking for Willow, excuse me. You've been looking for Willow, and you find him with the children in the meeting room. But go ahead and please take the scene.
Willow, can I talk to you?
Yes, but let's finish this first. Please,
Sure.
come in.
So where are we going to be dropping, and what are our orders, sir?
All right.
Well,
Willow puts his hand up actually to stop and says, well, I want you both to know that this is happening under my express objections. I don't want either of you down there.
But we're ready, sir. We can do this.
The hell you are. The hell you are. The hell you are.
We're not going to be in combat. We're just there to be a distraction, and we're going to be faster than them. And we need experience, right? Don't we need experience? We've got the best way to learn is to do, right?
At this, Lawrence will have decided. I'm going to insert myself in as well.
Beautiful.
Lawrence shows up as well. I love it.
And he'll say, you have experience inside a simulator looking at the screen.
And not even a very good simulator.
Not the very ad hoc simulation.
If Cyprian was there, he would take issue with that. It's a very good simulator.
In fact, you know what? Cyprian walks in too. You know what? Everyone was planning to meet. The Sergeant Major actually was calling a meeting here within the next 20 minutes. So
I think that's where he'd walk in, right where Callum says, and not a very good simulator either.
So, well, this has gotten out of hand quite quickly.
Look, it's
thinking of sending at best a 19-year-old and at worst a 14-year-old into combat.
I'm 15 in a week.
This has never been in hand in the first place. Sorry.
All right. Everyone calm down. First of all, Lawrence, I understand your objections. Trust me when I say that where these two came from, they've seen their fair share of hardship. They've probably not any not too familiar with what happens when a gun points at someone. Let's just put it at that. And
well, I
second
believe
of all,
Callum knows that, and he probably wouldn't suggest that at his fresh age, if you don't mind me saying, after the Clanners came in, you wouldn't tell yourself at that age to hop into a mech, would you, Callum? Even after all that you've been through. The fact is that with respect to Sam and Bruce, and I do apologize, you are not ready. You can maneuver fine, but all you know in terms of maneuvering is straight line speed, run away, which very much could be the situation that happens here. But if it changes from that, you will be either an extreme risk or you will be a liability that we will have to be bothered with. That's why I suggest. Oh, sorry, does Callum have something to say?
No. You keep going.
That is why I'm suggesting that Callum act as the distracting force. He is well experienced in this kind of work. We know that he can pull off these kind of maneuvers. It is a much safer bet. We do not want. We want the least amount of questions possible for this mission. And I apologize, children, but you raised too many questions for now.
I think. Look, Sam, Bruce, I don't doubt your heart. That's not in question. But we haven't had time yet to, for lack of a better term, turn that potential into anything. And potential isn't going to be enough if things go south down there. Granted, we're in a unit. We all take orders from somebody. The second in command is right here. Willow, if you order this, it's going to happen. If the sergeant major orders this, it's going to happen. But I would ask that if you send them down there, that you send me down there with them.
All right. I had thought we had talked about this, but I guess there's still some lingering feelings. And to be honest, I wasn't finished with my discussion with the two Graysons here. I was just about to ask them if they felt up to the task. And Willow directs his full attention to the two kids, says, and I mean, do you think you're up to the task? You've heard what your two trainers have said. You'll have to understand how important this is. That if we do this, the four of us go in, we're going to be too embroiled to come pluck you out of the fire. And I also don't particularly want to put you in harm's way, but our mission would go a lot smoother if we could even the forces out. And I need to know if you two truly believe if you can do it.
Sam has gone through a mix of emotions. This emotion of, I have to look after my brother. If I'm dead, I can't. To, I know I'm ready. I can do this. How dare you say I'm not? You're supposed to support me. To, maybe I'm not ready. To, why? What am I even doing here? This is insane. Like her expression has been a mosaic of all of these different emotions. Bruce has been pretty stoic, pretty calm. He's a nervous kid. But after this comment of, if you're dead, you know, who will look after your brother? And he's quiet at first. There's a silence that falls over the room. The only thing you hear is that kind of hum of the hollow display. It's just like, woo, 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 woo. And he says, I don't know if anyone ever knows they're really ready. But if we can do something to help make sure that this mission succeeds, that we start, I just want to help. I don't want to be a burden. So yeah, I'm ready. We can do this.
Well, think about it another way. If you die out there, we have to cover your funeral costs. We don't have the money for that.
He's not laughing. There's actually like a grayness that falls over. But with that, the sergeant major actually walks into the room, and he looks a little surprised. Actually, he goes, "Oh, good, everyone's here. That's a first. Yeah, you guys are actually shipping into a decent company, as it were. But I'm glad everyone's here. So we need to discuss the mission at hand and how we're going to handle this. I see the Graysons are here. Welcome, young mech warriors. Everyone else, good to see you. So, the mission as it stands, and he is going to tap the holo display, and it zooms in on this small square-like area that makes up a portion of one of the kind of the more like rocky valley-ish areas. And as you zoom in on it, you see that there appears to be a mining base with a small kind of octagonal wall around it, and you see that there are a couple of pings that look to be, potential enemy contacts. They kind of blip in and out, and these are just some preliminary scans that were made. This is old information from a day or two ago, all right, that was gathered, or actually a week ago, excuse me. But he says, as far as we know, at this point, there are at least a lance, if not a lance and a half of mechs. We believe they have 1 to 2 medium mechs, and then a series of small light mechs, locusts, ravens, and the like. The majority of their force appears to be armor. They have a couple of LRM carriers, some bulldogs, but nothing that our medium lance shouldn't be able to handle. The issue we're going to run into is simply their numbers versus ours. We have 4 capable mech pilots. He looks over at the Graysons. We have 4 capable mech pilots, and the potentiality of leveraging some of our trainees as far as a distraction. Now, it's not in my core, it doesn't feel right sending children into combat. But if we're to win this, it's definitely something I think we should consider, but only if the trainers feel that they are ready. So I will defer to Lawrence and Callum. Do you think they're ready?
Like Laura said, they are good at going fast in a straight line.
The question is, will they be required to do more than that?
Before I answer that, sir, I'd like to ask a question of my own. You're a trained mech warrior, are you not?
Of course.
Then why would you suggest 2 children over yourself?
And he smiles at that. He smiles. I thought you'd never ask. I'll be piloting one of our light mechs and acting as a distraction force for the rest of you. Children, you will both be watching the battle from orbit, and, well, you'll be required to take some notes as well. But, and he cracks his knuckles, it'll be good to be behind in the cockpit of a mech again. Been a few years, but I remember everything. And he looks over at Cyprian, and he smiles. He says, "Son, I think this will be the first time you and I will be in combat together."
Cyprian just rolls his eyes and says nothing.
So, Lieutenant, and he motions over to Willow. What's the battle plan?
Well, given the information that we have, since we're so heavily outgunned at the moment, we need that distraction force to pull at least half the lance out and as many light armor as it can. And add to that, just drop on them, do as much damage as quickly as possible, and hope we maintain the momentum. I don't see any other way we could do it.
Well, at this point, the only thing left to do is to ready ourselves, get our bellies full, grab a couple hours of shut-eye, and then make planetfall. Unless anyone else has any other questions, you're all dismissed.
Just a suggestion, sir.
Yes, Callum.
Take the Wolfhound.
You're sure you're all right with that? It is your mech, after all, Callum.
I'll be all right in the Hellhound.
I'll take it with your blessing. All right, mech warriors, be safe, be smart, and remember, you're all brothers in arms. Look after each other. Alone you die, together we live to fight another day. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Sir.
dismissed. Go get some shut-eye. We depart here at 0800 hours. Let's get these fuckers. And
And-
Cyprian will be the first out of that door. As soon as it's
and as Cyprian goes to leave, he says, Cyprian, actually a quick moment of your time, if you would, son.
he pauses in the door and like hangs his head and goes,
as Callum leaves, he'll sort of slap Cyprian on the shoulder a couple of times.
Willow will walk out with the two kids because he just wants to tell Sam in future simulations, always keep in the back of her mind that if she's dead, she can't do anything.
That's smart.
Always
That's
treat
actually
simulations like that.
really, really good advice. Really good advice. I like that.
And I think
And-
as he walks out, just if I can add one last thing,
Please.
Callum will walk past him and the kids, and then just say to him, just like, when you get a second, we need to talk about Dina.
Oh, she doing better?
That really depends.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go do some training.
I love it. I love it.
Talk to
And
Callum.
as everyone else leaves, leaving Sergeant Major with Cyprian, the Sergeant Major has he has a smile on his face, Cyprian, and it's not a common thing to see on your father's face, but he has a smile, and he says, "Son, tell me, how are you holding up?"
why are we doing this?
Is it wrong for a
Is it-
father
is
to
it
ask
this-
about how his son is doing?
Is it this next lording the battle readouts over me after this deployment? What's this all about? I'm fine. I'm fine.
The Sergeant Major tenses up a little bit. You can see that this moment is perhaps as uncomfortable for him as it is for Cyprian. Look, I know I've been talking with your mother. And look, I know I haven't been the most supportive father. I know I have pushed you in directions that you felt were perhaps wrong for you, but I want you to know that I've done this because I've always had your best interest in mind. And if we're to be working together, I don't want there to be any bad blood between us, son.
Cyprian will lean on the edge of the hollow and have a long exhale and say, there isn't. I'm being a mech pilot. I'm supporting the rest of the other three who are far better at this than I am. I'm being the mech pilot that you wanted me to be to the best of what I can do it.
Good. Good. Then I'm glad we had this talk. When you get a moment, your mother's been looking for you, and just perhaps spend some time with her. She's feeling a little out of place.
He'll stand up and say, "Will do," and go and head out towards the door, and then stop on the threshold and say, "I fixed the intercom in the hollow, by the way," and then walk off.
And as you walk off, we see your father looks over at the intercom, looks down at the holodeck, shakes his head, but doesn't look quite satisfied with that conversation. He doesn't look quite satisfied. But we're going to pivot over to where would Willow and the children have headed off to? Where would you have taken them to finalize this conversation, Willow?
Willow would have went with Callum.
Okay.
Yeah, he just sent the kids off. He told them, go do some training or
Go
whatever.
do some training. They're going to do some training. So, Willow and Callum, where would you like to have this conversation?
Anywhere that's like, just out of the way, like in a, an intersection or something. And
Yeah.
Anywhere where there's nobody immediately.
I love it. So you guys can have this conversation in the hallway, kind of near or around the barracks area, the sleeping quarters of the vessel. And I'm gonna go ahead and get you guys onto that map, drag you both on, and please take it away.
What? What did you give her? She is just really jacked up.
I didn't give her anything. I gave her some advice.
Okay, because she's definitely on something.
She's always been a little high strung. I guess might have suggested doing some yoga, doing some meditation, maybe seeing a doctor.
Like a pharmacist.
Someone who could prescribe something, yeah.
We don't have anybody like that.
Well, we were spent a few days on a mining colony.
Oh Lord. Okay, because she was tooling around with my mech all morning, and she was going through the checklist. When I get there,
She's got the checklists.
Yeah, I don't want.
Wait, you telling me she had a checklist in hand?
Yes, a clipboard with a pen.
I don't think I've ever seen her use a checklist.
She told the assisting Aztec that he was doing a great job.
It sounds like she's really improved. How was her focus?
Well, she was always focused, but now she seems focused and happy.
I don't see how that's a problem.
Well, I think the happiness is chemical.
Isn't all happiness chemical?
Oh my. All right. Okay.
Listen, if your brain
I
work,
don't want my SRMs to backfeed into my torso and blow me sky high.
did Dina seem like she didn't know what she was talking about?
No, as a matter of fact, she was complaining about a 0.02 variance in the targeting system, which isn't even humanly perceptible.
I mean, that sounds like Dina perceptible to me.
Right. You don't think it's a problem?
I don't see how it could be a problem. Sounds like she's doing better.
Okay. All right. Yeah. If you don't think it's a problem, I'll drop it. It just seems weird.
Yeah, no, it sounds absolutely crazy. I have a hard time really believing everything you're telling me, but I'm
You
doing
need to
my
go
best.
see. You need to go see right now. Like, come with me right now.
All right, yeah, I think that's a good idea.
At the mention
You
of
need to-
come with me right now, and you guys
Yeah.
pivot down the hallway, walking down the hallway with great purpose and that continual air of superiority is none other than Esme.
Oh,
And she
shit.
says, "Oh, Willow, just a minute, and
Don't.
Callum, just the person I was looking for. I've got a couple additional questions.
God damn
Callum, what is your blood type?"
it. AB.
AB. Oh, wow. I wouldn't have guessed. Figured would have been different. No big deal. Willow, couple quick questions. Where were you born, and what are your parents' maiden names?
Is this really the time to do this right now?
Yes.
Don't argue.
I was born on Olancha.
Lunch, perfect. Parents' maiden names?
Mother is Byrne,
Burn. Okay, excellent. Yep. Father?
and father is Michaels.
Michaels. Any known diseases, allergies, issues in the family, genetic disorders, anything like that?
No.
Okay, perfect. Nothing. Excellent. Okay, and blood type?
Be positive.
Be positive. Oh, excellent. Universal. Okay, that's very cool. Very nice. Yeah, so just trying to finalize, Lieutenant, the application for mercenary status. We are in a temporary status. It's not fully active yet,
Restrictions.
so we've got a couple of additional forms we need to fill out. And being the Met Company's go-to attorney, as it were, her laughter is so fake that it is painful to hear. It is very practiced, very formulaic. Just, yeah. So I just wanted to let you know if you need anything when it comes to contracts finalizing, I am a licensed notary as well. Happy to take care of that for you. Just want to make sure that we are crossing those T's, dotting those I's, and doing it by the book, if you know what I mean. That's what we're going to be doing here, by the book. But yeah, if you need anything at all, let me know. Also, have you seen Cyprian? I've been looking for Cyprian, got a couple additional questions for him as well. Have you seen him anywhere?
No, I don't think so. But if you get on the intercom and just shout his name, it'll eventually get back to you.
And that's why you're the lieutenant. Great job. Yes. Well, thank you. Very excited to be working with all of you. She's going to extend her hand to shake yours, Willow.
And Willow will shake it. And as he's shaking your hand, say, "Do you have an office yet?"
No. I was actually going to ask if I could get a personal office with some quarters. You know, there's going to be a lot of paperwork that I have to handle. I like to do things right, very organized, as it were. Being a lawyer, that's what we need to be organized, right?
I suggest go
yeah.
see the captain and then see if there's any extra abilities that you can come and here.
Fantastic idea. I will do that. Well, hey, you guys be safe out there and go get them. All right? Okay. Oh, those crazy grease monkeys. All right, she's gonna move off and move down the way and go look for Cyprian. But the two of you, as you make your way off towards the drop ship, the
I
mech
have a
bay.
question for Callum.
Yeah.
Callum, how good is your memory for random details you might have heard, like in the first month or so of meeting someone years and years ago?
I don't know. I would say average.
Okay. Well, then, what is Callum's odds on remembering that the surnames he just gave out were wrong,
Oh, that. I mean,
or
yeah,
were
he
different from what he would have told you years and
he
years ago?
probably he probably would have, but just sort of chalked it up to Willow being Willow and wanting to like mess with paperwork.
She needs an office pretty soon, so I can never go there
Yeah.
ever again.
You know, you're just gonna have to talk. You're just gonna have to talk to her again
That is
because
hilarious.
now she's gonna come back when she doesn't get a hit on those names.
So we'll deal with that later.
And speaking of a hit on those names, as you both are making your way back to the mech bay, we pivot over and we see on the other side of the mech bay, next to the Stormclaw, we see none other than Cyprian. You've made your way down to the mech bay, maybe just doing your final couple checks, making sure these crazy mech tech and Aztecs have done their job correctly, because you know you are the best of them. And as we pivot over, we see Esme walking towards you with that kind of click, 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 very purposeful, every step is the same tempo. It is practiced as she is doing so. But we zoom in on you, and from behind you, you see her walk up, and as she walks up, she says, "Cyprian," and she stops, and she meets eyes with you. You meet eyes with her, and there's an element of, like, you've seen some of the people on board, but a lot of the civilians have kind of been keeping to themselves, and it's been a slow process. But as she sees you, it almost feels like you're seeing her for the first time. And unlike all the other conversations she's had that you've heard, not you personally, but you as a player have heard, she stumbles over her words. Cyprian, right?
Yep.
Esme, I'm I'm gonna be the crew. Sorry. Do I know you from somewhere? You look really familiar. Where did you go to college?
I went to the military academy on Cantaris.
Military. Yeah, that wouldn't have been it. I've never been in the military. I was civilian life. I went to school. Did you ever go to what was the name of that bar in the capital? Oh my gosh, Blackjack's. Did you ever go to Blackjack's?
I mean, possibly. There's
God,
there's
you look
loads of bars.
so weirdly familiar. It's odd. I don't know. I can't place it. But oh, anyway, couple of finalized things I need to get done. So
Who are you?
oh, I'm the ship's well, the mercenary company's attorney. I'm just finalizing our application for mercenary status. We're in preliminary status, temporary status. We have a temporary license. I'm just trying to finalize everything right now. And yeah,
Okay, lawyer.
yeah, lawyer. That's guilty. Yeah, it's what we have to do. But yeah, we're parents' maiden names. Real quick.
Devon and Raven.
Devon and Raven, excellent. Any family history, medical history issues, any problems like that?
I mean, not that I know of. I mean, wouldn't the sergeant major be better off asking these questions of?
Well, I'm supposed to ask him of the mech warriors. We need individual profiles for everybody to submit for the mercenary review board.
Okay, fine.
So no issues, no
Nope.
diseases. Okay,
No,
perfect.
no,
And what's your
no.
blood type?
Uh, um, oh,
Oh, okay, perfect, excellent. Yeah, I'm really excited to be working with you. I want to make sure that if we're gonna do this, we got to do it right, as the sergeant major says. Got to do it right, and yeah, d- yeah, well, I look forward to working with you. And every other handshake she's given, and this is more for the players than for anyone else, but every other handshake she's given has been a very firm handshake. The handshake that she gives Cyprian is firm, but it lingers for a moment. And she looks at you, and she just has this look on her face like she recognizes you from somewhere. And she lingers, and she says, I look forward to working with you. Be safe out there, pilot.
okay, will do. Thanks.
Yep.
And then he
Yep.
will turn back to his mech and be like, "Oh, that was fucking weird."
And she scurries off, heading off back in the direction. A little bit of a skip in her step. A little bit of a skip in her step. But as that happens, I'm going to open the floor to everyone else. Are there any final scenes that anyone would like to have? I do want to get Willow and Callum onto the mech bay to look and see how Dina's doing. But if any other scenes anyone would like to have prior to Planetfall? Going once, twice, three times, sold to the men with the fantastic medium mechs. But as we pivot back over, we see the Hellhound and we see Callum, we see Willow walking up towards Dina. Dina is still standing where she's at. She has clipboard in hand, and she's just doing the final checklist, and she's got three of the Aztecs around, these underlings to her, and she's just saying, I just want to say that I'm extremely proud of each and every one of you. The attention to detail, your ability to perform under pressure, and I know things are hard right now, but you guys are all doing fantastic, and I'm just really happy to be working with you. The three of them look so freaking uncomfortable in this moment. They look like they've seen a ghost, and that ghost had a friend that was a geist, and there was a zombie, and a vampire is behind them going grr ar. Like, they look terrified and extremely uncomfortable. But as the two of you, Willow and Callum, approach, she says, all right, you're all dismissed, and go get some shut-eye. We're done. We're ready to go. And in fact, just, go have an extra ration on me. That's where we're at. All right, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Oh, Callum, Willow. Hey, how you guys doing? Good to see ya.
Yeah, you are right. It's worse than I thought.
What?
Yeah.
She's nice.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm always nice, aren't I? Why are you guys being weird?
Look.
One eye is highly dilated. The other eye is extremely tight. You can see nothing but iris, and it's just like she looks crazy. Is what she looks like right now.
So did you go to see that doctor that I suggested you see?
Oh, I did. He gave me these. Well, they're he called them uppers, and I gotta tell you, I just feel really relaxed and just you know what? You great advice. Really good advice, Willa. Thank you for that, by the way. I feel fantastic. He told me to take 2. I took 6, and I'm feeling good.
Ah, there's the problem. Right.
Yep.
Dina, do you know how you feel like when your assistant mech techs do things that you didn't ask them to do, or did the things that you didn't specifically say to do?
Yeah, I mean, people make mistakes. It's fine.
Yes. Well, doctors are like mech techs, but for the human body. And when they tell you to do something and you don't do the thing that they told you to do, it is a mistake that may not be fine.
What? But I feel fine.
So
As she says I feel fine, she twitches, and you can see her left hand is shaking.
Oh man, where's Cyprian when you need him?
He's
How should I-
across. He's across the bay on the other side.
He's just
Yep.
over there.
There's the things in the way, so Will has no
Yeah.
idea he's there. He's
Are you
He's
guys
over there.
hungry? I'm feeling really hungry right now. Like I could really use some food. I really want to go eat. I'm gonna go get eat right now. But hey, you guys take care and hey, good luck out there. Do well.
hold on, Dina. There's
Yeah?
something important you really need to know.
Okay.
When the doctor says take 2, don't take 6.
What?
Take 2.
But I took 2 and it didn't really feel anything. And then I took 3 and I started to feel better. And then I took 4 and then I felt really good. So I figured, hey, what's an extra 2? And I took 6 and I feel amazing. Oh
Okay,
my gosh. I
Also,
feel
Dina,
so
that's
good right
not
now.
6. That's like 12.
What? Dina starts to shake, and then she starts to convulse, and then
We
she
need to get her
drops to
sick
the
bay.
deck and starts having what appears to be a well, she appears to be having a seizure at this point.
Call for a medic.
And
Come on, let's get her.
you guys call for a medic, and in fact, Cyprian hears the call for a medic from across the way as well. And yeah, she's in a rough way right now. Actually, she is in a bit of a rough way. But Cyprian, as you run over there, Lawrence, you're entering the mech bay. A bunch of the mech techs come rushing over. Dina's having a problem right now. She is not in a good way, and I'm curious, how are you guys going to handle this situation?
So for someone dealing with a seizure, the only thing you can do is trying to prevent them from hitting their head on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what Willow's gonna do. He's gonna run over and just try and do the best he can. Put his kneel
I
on the
really-
floor, put her head in his lap,
Mhm.
hold his hands out to the side so she doesn't
Mhm.
move too much. And just say, well, hopefully the medic gets here soon.
And
I have med tech, so I
Perfect.
can try and,
perfect.
I know that the old advice was to like put something in their mouth to prevent them from swallowing their tongue, but that's not the advice anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if I have to roll, I will to.
Yeah, go ahead and roll med tech roll.
All right.
Wow. Wow, 7.
Let's see, 4, and then I think I have +3 on that.
It's meet or beat. That's a
Yep.
meet. That is a meet. Okay, so
Nope.
Dina she is not overdosing in this moment, but she is having an extreme allergic reaction to taking too much of this. So you give her kind of a once over. You realize like she's not foaming at the mouth. She's not coughing up blood. She's probably not going to die, but her come down off of this, the hangover she's going to have is going to be terrible. And as of right now, the best thing to do is to likely take her to the med bay, get her stomach pumped, and then give her some time off so that she can rest and recover from this, because she took too many. She absolutely took too many, and that's something that you're probably going to want to have a conversation with her at some point when she's not on these uppers, and take it from there. But in this moment, she's going to be all right. She's going to be all right. Yep, she's going to be okay.
And
Go ahead.
Will's gonna look over to Cyprian and say, Cyprian, when she regains consciousness in the med bay, assuming we're not out getting shot at, I'm going to need you there to translate what the doctor says into words that Dina understands.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cyprian will acknowledge that, and then we'll walk over to Richie with
Richie looks
Follow me.
very uncomfortable right now, and Richie always has a quirk, always has a comment, always has a little joke to be made, but he is just standing there looking at Dina with true concern on his face.
yeah. Cyprian will take him a bit to one side.
You pull him off to the
Um,
side in front of the Centurion.
So when I said that you were supposed to keep everything, running as a team and all the rest of it,
Right.
what did you say?
I said that
You said that you were going to be the boss. So how is Dina in this way?
I mean, look, I'm not.
So Willow's in charge. He is he's in charge of the Mechwarriors. You said that you were going to be in charge of the mech techs. So
Well, right. I mean, I am in charge.
So-
I mean, right, but I mean, I can't like. Am I supposed to go through all their things? I mean, I didn't know. I
she's clearly ended up taking something.
right?
Did you notice anything unusual when she turned up this morning?
I mean, she seemed to be in a good mood,
And
but
that didn't seem unusual to you.
well, I mean, sure, but like, I mean, everyone's been so. Sir, I'd like to request to step down from being in charge, sir.
Think about it. We'll deal with this afterwards, after deployment.
Yes, sir. And I'm sorry, sir. I'll do better.
Cyprian will start walking away, and
It's Tom, along with a couple of the other Aztecs, and Richie actually moves over. They all get Dina onto a stretcher. After she stops having her seizure, she seems stable. Lawrence, you're able to go with her to the med bay of the Stropo and get her hooked up to an IV. You do get her stomach pumped, and she looks like she'll make a full recovery, but definitely something that you're going to want to follow up with her on in the future. And Richie, again, always having these kind of jokes, quips. He looks very, very, very disappointed in himself in this moment. Very, very disappointed and very reserved. He just gets back to work. But any other scenes anyone would like to have prior to Planetfall on Latham?
Willow will walk back up to Callum and say, "Man, I should have known Dina would take going to the doctors too far."
I didn't think it was an actual doctor when she said it. I didn't think it was a doctor. I thought it was the kind that you meet in an alley to, get medicine.
To be fair, it's probably not much better.
Yeah, probably. I hope she's okay.
Lawrence was pretty adamant that she'd be fine, so
Right.
I have no reason to doubt him. But
I'm,
yeah. Hey, Cyprian, could you come here?
Yeah.
So this all started because I suggested Dina go see a doctor about the problems that she's been having, and to leave it to Dina to go a little overboard. It's not in character, I know, but so I think we're going to need someone who speaks fluent Dina to really tell her, to get her to understand that when a doctor says take only a certain amount, to not take more. Maybe
Yeah,
talk
that
about
should-
how like an engine
Maybe a-
coolant or something.
maybe a like an AC-10 analogy, maybe like if you can only fit 1 ton worth of autocannon ammunition inside a mech's feeder system, what happens when you put 5 tons in there?
Or if you put
you can't get it in there, but metaphorically, if you could, it would backfeed and you'd blow up.
yeah,
I
or if you
think
put
I
like
think this is more
2
of a-
engines in there and it would overheat, and
I think this is more of an energy weapon system analogy rather than a mechanical weapon system analogy, but I
Yeah.
get your drift.
Right.
I can talk to Dina. That's not a problem.
yeah. Just get her to understand.
Okay, well, in
I've-
return, you need to go and talk to Richie because that is not my bag. But
Okay,
it's his
yeah.
team. He, I thought he was doing the right thing in giving somebody a leadership role to make sure that everybody was pulling in the same direction. And I don't know whether Richie was the right choice.
Well, you had Dina or Richie, and well, you had Dina or Richie.
Yeah, and
So-
Richie didn't even do anything when Dina showed up. Well, like this.
He's not a doctor. I don't necessarily blame him.
But he's worked with her for years.
That's true. But to be fair, if you came into a mech battle pumped and excited instead of, worrying, I would be pretty. I'd think it's weird, but I wouldn't do anything about it necessarily.
Okay, well, if I ever go into a battle being all excited, then you definitely should be doing something. Because there's clearly something wrong.
Yes, I think that's the lesson that we've learned here. All right, I guess I'll go talk to Richie then.
Yeah, if it's all the same, I'm gonna run over the Hellhounds pre-drop checklist one more time.
It's not a bad idea.
And Callum, as you run over the pre-drop checklist, everything is perfect. It's that Dina level of efficiency, but you can't help scrape. You can't find anything wrong, but there's something inside you that just feels off. You can't quite place it. You don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the awkwardness of the situation. Maybe it's just the concern for your friend and colleague. You don't know, but there's definitely a feeling you can't shake. But as Willow walks over to Richie, Richie is back. Richie has left, actually. And what I'd like to do is I'd actually like to leave that conversation with Richie for a little bit later, because Richie's going along with some of the other Aztecs to make sure Dina's looked after. And I'd like us to kind of like flash forward a little bit to where y'all have landed on the planet, and some of these other conversations may have taken place already, right? The one with Richie, etc., having a conversation with Dina about the proper use of medication. But we're going to pivot down to a map that's going to look a little familiar, and the terrain actually reminds you of your initial battle, that first live action war game that you did. There's some valleys, there's this location up at the top with this wall, and there's like an entryway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's like an eight walled kind of little facility up at the top there. And I'm gonna have you guys roll, and you can actually each can roll, and you can assist each other. And you're rolling to try and beat an 18 DC, and this is a tactics check to see how well the Sergeant Major's distraction works. How many of the enemy troops, and you actually pick up 12 pings. You've got 3 light mechs, locusts, and you also have a medium mech on sensors that appears to be a quick draw.
I will, unless somebody else has more edge than me, but I will spend an edge to get you to re-roll those 5s and 2 6s.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right. So we got a 2 5s and a 1. So
Okay.
And-
11 plus 1.
So it's a 12.
So it's a 12.
Yeah.
That's significantly better.
Okay,
that's fair.
yeah.
I respect that. That's good. I figured you might want to do that.
All right.
That's funny.
Willow
That's
has
tactics.
leadership, not tactics.
I have a 5 in tactics.
I've got
I
a 4.
have nothing. But I can always get 2 6s. Nope. But would that just be plus
Whoop.
intelligence?
Nope.
Yeah, it's intelligence.
Okay. Well, that's a 9. No.
Oh, that's 4 and 3.
Boom!
Ooh.
Cyprian! Let's go. So Cyprian, working in coordination with your dad, you actually set up this, like, just very similar to what Willow had said, this kind of like shadow looking lance. So his light mech that he's running in, the Wolfhound, correct me if I'm wrong, is what he's running in. He does it. He pulls away about half of their force. So there are 2 light mechs that retreat away, as well as 4 tanks that leave the facility, leaving only 3 tanks, 2 light mechs, and the quick draw to defend it as they pull away half that force, which gives you plenty of time to move in, engage them, ideally take them out, get inside, and rescue these miners before the rest of their forces return. So you've split them in half, and you can take them in kind of 2 waves is what the plan's going to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to have everyone roll initiative here. I'm going to get some music going for you guys, and we are going to jump into a little bit of Mechwarrior Destiny combat. So go ahead and let's get this thing rocking and rolling.
I doth believe that those tokens are incorrect.
What's that?
Oh no, I just don't remember what my mech was called.
Oh dear.
The Centurion, was it not?
Those should be the right
Yes.
ones. I should have all your new ones on there. Yeah.
Yep, you're correct.
And
I
it's
was wrong.
it's reflex plus any modifiers, right? So,
Correct.
all right, 4. That's 5. Oh!
Is it just single reflex or reflex?
Yep, we're just doing reflex. Yeah.
I think that's the first time Willow has gotten not like towards the bottom of the pack.
Ugh.
So as we zoom down onto this
Yeah,
somewhat desolate planet surface, we see that it appears to be more akin to like a moon. There's very little atmosphere. It's only maybe a couple of feet off the ground. A very thin atmosphere. Nothing that a human could breathe. But as we zoom in, we see your lance is moving in through this kind of valley-like area up towards a direction. And at this point, you guys are going to have a full 2 rounds to maneuver in to get closer because they are distracted by Cyprian's father and the Warhound, in the light mech, pulling away half their forces and the Wolfhound. And so I'm gonna let you guys take 2 full turns. You can engage in combat. You can shoot at them if you so choose, if you get close enough. But this is where we pick up. We just kind of open with you guys running in, you know, moving into position. And we're going to start with none other than, let's see here, who's first? We got the Hellhound. Hellhound, the scout, is first, as is tradition. So what would you like to do, Cal?
All right. Well, we're gonna move. We're gonna get into an advantageous position, I think. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'll just move up to here. So I'm gonna move to here. That way, I'm still kind of sandwiched between this hill
Give yourself a little bit of cover. I like that.
and let's. So the Bulldog LRM is 11 squares away. That would put it at the far end of medium range. So let's. I am, if I could pull a Pathfinder / D anything, I'm gonna hold now until the rest of the lance comes up, and then I'm going to open fire because I don't want to give away the fact that we're here until everybody's in position.
I like it. Next up is going to be the Centurion. Willow, you're up next, my dude.
Okay. Willow will get on the short range squad calm, say, now remember, our target is to get to the compound, secure the compound, and make sure that we get the hostages safe. We don't need to do anything fancy or flashy. We just need to get in that building and keep it.
Confirmed.
I have forgotten how to play. Hold on. What is my movement 2? So I'm
Take 1 week off. Don't even take a week off. We haven't fought in a while. It has been a few sessions since we had a fight. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Willow will move up behind Callum and also just hold. He'll hold for the rush.
And actually, I'm wondering. Oh, sorry. No, you guys go forward.
Stormclaw, Cyprian, you're up next. I'd like to add this to you, Cyprian. You actually get a ping. You have a direct comm link, a secure channel between you and your father, and he says, "I've managed to pull away half of them. Get in there, get the job done, and good luck."
Roger, out. Close the channel. Cheers, Dad.
Aw.
He's going to be reading all them battle readouts going, no, you should have gone left. Oh, what? Oh, you could have got an extra 5% accuracy on that shot. Right, so in terms of movement, it's 6 for a normal movement. But I can potentially move up to 12 then.
For a heat, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to full move to right. So I'm going to full move up and over to right here.
No, I've got a stupid idea.
I love stupid ideas.
So I'm going to be effectively straight down what I'm assuming is a bit
Like a
of
valley. Yeah, yeah.
down
You
here.
can see them just on the crest of this hill up in the corner there. Yeah, I like it. It's very good positioning.
And the guy, this medium mech up here,
He's behind the
on-
walls. You're picking him up on sensors intermittently, but he's behind the walls right now. Yeah,
Okay, so he's going to be indirect fire from
Correct,
from,
yep.
from
Mhm.
me from there.
you got it.
But I'm going to move just a couple of spaces back, just
Okay.
so I'm definitely in long range from
like it.
them when they move a bit.
And the Griffin. Lawrence, you're up next.
All right. I'm gonna do the usual do of moving pretty much there with the lance, and nobody's with the primary portion of the lance, and nobody's open fired yet, right?
No,
So,
no one has opened fire.
all right, then I'll
In
hold
fact,
fire
it
as
doesn't
well.
even appear that they've noticed you're there yet.
Fire, keep fire until you see the whites of their eyes. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's what I'll do.
Up, we're gonna go back to the top of the round with Callum. You're in position. You hear over open comms. Oh shit! There's another lance! It's a trap! But it's too late for them to make full reaction. You guys are gonna get a full round, and then we're gonna go back to the top again. Basically, you're getting a surprise round here because your plan has worked brilliantly.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna do, Game Master.
Go for it.
We're gonna start big. We're gonna start big, and this is either gonna be amazing or not. But yeah, as soon as they say that, Callum is going to punch it. Full throttle, heading straight for this wall.
Okay.
As he gets here, he hits his jump jets
Okay.
and comes careening over the wall.
Oh boy.
So here's what I want to do. As I jump, I'm going to Alpha Strike the Quick Draw.
Oh my god.
And also, because I want to get a melee in there, I want to DFA him.
Oh!
So we're gonna see how well this plays out.
Let's go. Let's
If Dina wasn't in
go.
med base, she'd be annoyed at the damage to the legs.
Oh my god, this is crazy. I love it.
Um,
I love it. I love it. I love it. I
so-
love it. Love it. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna give his skill check. So he's gonna get his piloting check. I am gonna give him some minuses on his piloting check because you are shocking him. He sees. So imagine you're the guy, this pirate in this quick draw. He's just powered, like he's powered up. He's ready to go. He's actually turned slightly towards the west. So he's turned. You're catching him
Yep.
on his right side because that's all he saw coming.
Okay.
And as you start to land, come down on him, you see him starting to pivot, but he can't quite do it. And he goes, "Oh hell!" And he is gonna roll a 12 piloting check, which isn't terrible actually. That isn't terrible. Not terrible at all.
Yeah. So. Yeah. All right. That's. Oh wow. That's. His legs is just equal to the attacker's tonnage. 30. Okay.
I'm nervous.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, actually, it would be disadvantageous for me to DFA him, so I'm just gonna pop him when I come back down.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, instead of that. So let's play it safe for now.
Yeah. You're going crazy,
So,
but not too crazy.
yeah. So where is my roll 20? Let's do the checks for my gunnery first, because that's so here's the large pulse laser.
Hit.
Okay. We'll do the 2 ER medium lasers as well.
Hit.
Okay, and lastly, the piloting check for the melee.
Hit. Wow. All right, let's roll some hit
So-
locations.
All right, so let's do hit location mech.
Wow. Left arm. Okay. So as you're coming down, you manage to strike his left arm, which makes sense. So left arm, right arm, and torso. Oh boy. Go
I
ahead.
want to spend 2 plot points to make both those arm hits torso hits.
Holy moly! How much damage total is that?
So that would be, let's see, it's going to be 4 damage for the large pulse laser,
Mhm.
5 damage for the ER medium lasers.
Oh my god.
It's going to be 2 damage for the punch,
Okay.
and also I've got to do my streak SRM2s.
Oh my
So-
god. So we've got 4, so that's 9, 10, 11. We're at 11 damage so far. Let's see if he can dodge that last one. He does not. He does not.
All right. And torso again. So the streak SRM2s are 3 damage.
Describe how you blow him up.
Just a. But I sort of picture it like, so you guys are like picturing the, you see the wall and you just see the hellhound go, and then like almost subsequent with the sound of the impact, you just see this plume, this like cloud of explosive smoke come billowing up, and the contact, the target goes off.
Do you see a pilot punch out?
Sure, yeah, why not? I mean, he's not. I didn't hit him. I didn't touch his head at all. So
Yeah, he punches out. He manages. You see the escape pod punch out, and wow, that is a great opening salvo. The quick draw on your sensors. Everybody else blips out. Target down. Next
Oh.
up, we have Willow.
Don't do anything fancy. You just need to get to the center of the thing. Yeah. No problem. Willow will
Nobody's
full
totally listening
throttle.
to their squad leader.
We've
Yeah,
been
Willow will
screwed
full
over.
throttle.
The merchant. He's not bringing the cash. Kill him. Blow up the facility. Ah! They're being angry evil pirates. Classic Mechwarrior 5 style.
Am I close enough
throw
without
a-
full throttling?
throw a yar
No.
in there.
Yar.
Does one of them have a hook handle?
You know what? Yes.
Willow just absolutely walks out because Centurion's kind of a tanky mech,
Oh yeah, it is.
and he's going to get their attention. He full throttles, and he's going to shoot this bulldog that's right in front
Love
with
it.
his AC-20.
Yeah. Oh,
which is now in short
buddy, I
range.
forgot. Oh. That's the variant you went with. Oh, buddy.
So, ooh, all right. That's not bad.
14. All right, let's give this guy. I'm also giving them a minus on their skill checks as well. Yeah, that's a hit.
All right.
There's something more
Revolution
beautiful than a
vehicle.
perfectly executed plan. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
How much
so it's
damage is that?
7 damage.
Describe how you blow it up.
So yeah, this this big Centurion walks out, runs out into the center, pops
God.
the bulldog right in its left side, right above the track,
Yeah.
but at the back of it, so it hits the engine block, and the entire thing just
Just erupts into fire, which is quickly dampened because of the lack of atmosphere. It's just like a
Yeah.
little micro explosion from the oxygen that was inside the tank, and then it just fizzles out, leaving a Hulk. Love
and
it.
then he'll shoot his missiles at this light mech.
Oh God! Come on, guys. They gotta roll a little bit better. Jesus.
So Willow spent a fair bit of time in the simulator
That is
himself.
a hit. He's been
So
practicing.
that is one
Initial volley, Callum. I was like, I'm gonna throw a quick draw at him. It's good, and that actually would probably do some damage. One shot. Fair enough.
I mean, It's not a warhammer, but I'll take it.
I love it. I love
Extra
it.
missile damage.
Pew pew pew.
Whoa.
Is that 2 damage?
hit location
Finally,
back.
somebody
Yeah.
rolled some.
2
Right
damage
arm.
to the right
Nice.
arm.
You take a little bit of damage. You actually do breach the right arm on this locust. So go ahead and roll me a critical damage. Ooh, not quite. Only a 6. But the good news is, do you have any other attacks?
Nope.
Stormclaw.
He is going to bimble forward to here,
Love it.
and then I can go in one more hex, which will put me perfectly just at the edge of
Yep.
medium range. So 2 LRM-15s at this guy.
He's about
That's
to
some
have,
fire support goodness.
he's about to have a bad day. If they're not gonna pay, destroy the facility! Yar!
Do they also get
That'll be
negatives because they've only got one eye, so their
Correct.
depth perception
Correct.
will
Yes.
pop
Yeah.
up?
That's already included in their minuses and their skill
Cool.
checks. They did get a 12 though. He did get a 12. It's not a bad roll. Not a 13 though. It's not a 13. I'll tell you that much.
Excellent. So it's,
Oh my lord.
So 2 LRM-15s is 4 plus MM 10. So is that twice missile damage as well?
Yeah, you roll
for
two
each one.
two M dice.
Right.
Yep.
But I need to roll the location first. Where's the
Yep. Roll the
location?
location for the base damage. How much is the base damage?
4, I believe you said.
4. Okay.
4, yeah.
Perfect.
4.
That does penetrate the left leg, so you'll have to roll a critical chance. Go ahead and roll the critical chance. Nope, that's okay. And then go ahead and roll 2 missile damage rolls. 3 and 1.
3. Nice.
Ooh! All right, go ahead and
Max
roll
damage
hit
on one of those
locations.
missiles.
Go ahead and roll hit locations on both of those. Right arm and torso. So that right arm goes internal, and that torso also does it. So, I mean, I hate to say it. You hate to see it happen. But this guy's like, I will move into the... Describe how you kill him.
Oh,
Jeez.
just so from Willow's point of view, all he sees is like missiles coming over the top of the walls, and just streaking right over the top because it's all indirect fire.
Oh my god. And then from the Centurion's perspective and Lawrence is the Griffin, you watch as this locust starts to pivot. Right leg is taken out as it goes to plummet. Another volley of missiles just into its core, and it just goes nova. You do not see a pilot escape from that one. And next up is none other than
I
Lawrence.
still have other weapons.
Oh, you do? Oh, fuck
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Oh my god, I thought that was it. Oh, fair enough. Keep going.
No.
Keep going.
So now I'm going to shoot some ER long lasers at this bulldog that's on the hill.
Have you heard of the term called overkill? But I mean, hey, you do you. You do you.
I mean, I shot a bulldog with an AC-20.
That is fair. You did one shot a bulldog. It was like, we're gonna destroy them.
So against the bulldog.
All right.
13.
He's gonna succeed. You're gonna miss. I believe. Come on, buddy. Come on. Every time.
So I'll
Oh
I'll
Lord.
take 7 onto that left side then.
Mm-hmm. 7.
Yeah.
Describe how this one blows up.
Wow.
Straight through.
Just
Gaps
that
between-
electric explosion of the ERPPC. You watch as the metal slags away. It goes internal, and the thing just pops off. That turret,
Turret
those
just
turrets
goes
just pops off, and you see all the missiles on it just start to explode internally, and the whole thing just goes up in flames, quickly dampened due to lack of atmosphere as well. There is a bulldog and a locust left. So bring us home, Griffin. Bring us home, Lawrence. Bring us home.
All right. So I will go full throttle as everybody else has.
Oh,
Pick up a rock on your way.
Move.
What happened to the Geneva
there.
Convention?
And let's see.
It's
Just
been
out.
both.
So that is just in medium range, which is still okay for my large pulse laser.
Oh, large
So-
pulse laser, jeez.
I can't with you guys right
I
now. This
love
is
those.
insane.
I love pulse weapons so much.
So I'm gonna try and fire my large pulse laser onto the locust. It's going to be 2d6. Gonna roll that right there. It's a 7, but that is plus 6, so 13.
Very nice. All right, let me go ahead and roll. This is on the locust, right?
Yep.
Okay. I think you hit.
All right. That is going to be, double check, 4 damage to his torso.
All right,
Oh.
you do go internal.
Okay.
Crit
Crit
goodbye.
chance.
Hey!
Roll on the critical damage table.
Critical
Or
damage
torso.
For the torso. Primary weapons are
Oh!
destroyed.
So, you know what's funny? This guy has
Yeah.
missiles. You know what his primary group was on his torso? It was missiles.
missiles.
So you know what
Mhm.
explodes?
His missiles.
Yeah. Go ahead and describe how you kill this guy. Jesus Christ. I'm
I'm
gonna have to throw you up against some stronger guys in the future. Jesus Christ. Oh.
Well, you can change the second wave that's coming
Listen,
up. We
to
don't
be
mind.
fair, the first real combat you had to scope against was people way better than we should
That's
be able
fair.
to go up
That's
against.
fair. You did okay.
So,
You did
so
okay.
now we're at a level where we should be, and it's like, oh yeah,
You're
these
punching
guys-
just slightly below your weight class, which is what you should do, right? That's good. That's good.
Mhm.
yeah,
But
punching down.
the large laser blast hits it in the torso, and at first it just like looks like it fizzles a bit, but then you see the missiles touch off, and then like a series of subsequent explosions, and it just collapses down. And then I believe that Bulldog is within short range.
It is.
Mhm.
Yes, it's in short range, so I'm gonna use my 2 medium pulse lasers on it.
Can you hit a 13? You're gonna miss.
So that is 4 plus 6 plus 2. I'm gonna re-roll that one though, because I don't like it.
Bulldog's getting some action.
Yep.
Nope.
That is
Ooh.
instead gonna be a 8.
How much damage
So
is that?
that is 5.
Okay, that doesn't actually destroy it. That actually doesn't destroy it, but it does go internal on its side. Go ahead and roll a critical chance for vehicle.
Oh, I didn't roll for a hit location.
Oh, roll
Yeah.
for hit location, please. Yeah.
Hit location for vehicle.
Left side.
Left
Yeah,
side.
so it does go internal, but it does
Okay.
not destroy it. Go ahead and roll a critical chance. 7
Nope.
does not go critical. Any other weapons?
None that wouldn't cause me to go into my heat. So.
Do it.
Oh, don't worry about it. Willow went into
Do
heat.
it.
All right,
I'm in
I'll
my
go
heat
with
too.
this. I'll
What
go.
was
I'll
this?
go with the last
I was
volley of
doing-
small lasers
I
at
love
the
it. I love it.
bulldog.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Do it.
All right, here we go. So that'll be 12.
You get him.
11.
Roll damage.
Roll location front.
Do you want to spend a plot point to move that to the left side?
Yeah, I will. I will say that it hits the front and then rakes off
It
into the
hits
left
the
side.
front, lancing to the side, and you watch it just kaboom and go explode as well. And in a quick and decisive strike, Evan Hart's Sons has moved in and secured the location. Over the comms,
Cyprian will. I was going to say Cyprian will jump onto the comm
Yeah.
across to the Sergeant Major and be like, all targets destroyed, securing location.
you get a response back from your father, and he says, "The rest of the pirates appear to be maneuvering away. Looks like we did it, boys. Great job." And as you all... I didn't expect you guys, if I'm going to be honest. I expected... Like, I was like, okay, if they do well, they have a good plan, I'll give them, like, 2 rounds to get in there. They'll probably beat up a little bit, and it'll be fine. But, you know, it's a learning experience for me at how amazing you guys are. And I was like, okay, they'll probably, like, do a little damage, and then they'll be a little back and forth. We'll have a couple of rounds, and maybe they'll take some hits. Yeah, you just went in and just nuked everybody in one quick blow. So, wow, first of all. And also, great first mission, I suppose. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, to describe you a little bit of what transpires, your father, Cyprian, shows up in his Wolfhound. The rest of the pirates end up maneuvering away. They have a small ship on planet that they end up taking off. And if you do choose to try to chase them down, you're welcome to do so. But otherwise, they appear to leave planet and just bugger off to wherever they decided to go. Just a small little pirate outfit. The civilians here, the workers here, are extremely grateful for you having rescued them and done it, and you are paid a little bit of a bonus because, well, you didn't take any damage. There was 0 loss to civilian life, and you, for all intents and purposes, secure not Latropo, that's the name of your thing, Lyman. You secure Lyman away from the pirates. So it is a mission success. And I also want to talk a little bit, not Turkey per se, but there are a couple of mechs that were destroyed, not completely destroyed, but you do have, when I give out XP at the end of the session, which is coming up here in a little bit, but when I give out XP, you've got a griffin and 3 locusts that you can look at grabbing as well if you want to start to expand the roster. Not a
You mean
griffin,
a
but a
quick draw?
Quick draw. You've got a quick
Yeah,
draw.
yeah.
Which is a great one. It's actually a quick draw 5A, which comes with 2 medium lasers,
Nice.
SRM4, 2 medium laser groups, 2 medium laser groups. It's a heavy hitter. It's a heavy hitter, and it has deep heat dissipation 3. So you can do an alpha strike and only gain 1 heat on that thing, and it kicks out some damage. It definitely does. So something you might want to consider. And part of the agreement, I believe, with Kelly was you got first pick. Correct me if I'm wrong. You did get first pick, so you'll get first pick on the salvage. But I mean, it's a quick battle. It's a decisive battle. 0 damage taken. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to have our last scene be you've all returned, mission accomplished, and I'd like our last scene to be in Dina's quarters, and I believe Willow was planning to have a quick conversation with Dina about what just transpired. Dina is in
Well,
her
he'd sent
quarters.
me.
What's that? Oh,
He'd sent
Cyprian.
me.
He sent Cyprian? Okay. Forgive me.
Oh yeah,
We
Willow.
did the
if,
trade. You can go and do the
Yeah.
whole Richie thing and command and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Willow talks to Richie.
Yep. And I'd like to have that conversation too. So this will be our first from last scene. I'd like you to talk to Richie, but I'd like to pivot over to Cyprian walking in with Dina. Dina is sitting up. She's awake. She's got her hands crossed over her lap. She's got the blanket kind of pulled up. There's an IV in her. She seems like she's been very sweaty. Her hair is kind of matted a little bit. It's pulled back out of her face, but she looks a little embarrassed, for lack of a better phrase. And as you walk in, she looks up at you, quickly averting her eyes, and then just looks down at her hands and is calm, but not the same calm as she was, the day prior.
Before.
Yeah, it's a different type of calm. It's a very solemn calm in this moment. But please, Cyprian, continue.
So I think Cyprian had sort of politely knock on the door and asked to come in first, and then probably just sit like on the end of her bed, ask her how she's feeling.
I'm fine, Cyprian. Thank you.
He would ask her why she went to that extent.
I'm always nervous, Cyprian. I'm always scared I'm gonna miss something. That something I do is going to... Well, that's something that I don't do is going to cost the life of someone that I'm responsible for. I have to be perfect. I have to get it right every single time. And if I can't
he'll
get
interject and stop her and be like, I know exactly how you feel, but you're not responsible for anything that the pilots do while they're out in the field. You're the best mech tech that I've ever met. You understand how the machines work better than anybody else. Nothing that you never miss anything. Everything that you do is not through learned knowledge, but an innate understanding. Being nervous is one thing, but changing your entire personality to match what somebody else or what you perceive other people to think that you need to be it's not the Dina that I want to know.
She's been looking at her hands the whole time, crossed on her lap, very solemn, and she does finally look up and meet your gaze. Thank you, Cyprian. Thank you.
He'll stand up and pat her on the lower leg and just get better soon.
Cyprian,
The mech techs, they need you around, and they need the proper Dina around, and then we'll start to head out.
and as you start to head out, she says, Cyprian, would you just sit here with me for a little bit? I don't really want to be alone.
He will go and he'll pull the pillows on the other bunk that's in the bed, and he'll push them up and then sit on the other bed, and then we'll start a conversation about mechs, about something completely different to the whole situation, and just talk about how he'd thought about rewiring the way that the heat sinks were set up in his Stormcrow.
And over the course of an hour, you start to see that almost neurotic Dina start to return. And she's like, no, that's stupid. That you never do it that way. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She starts to seem a little bit more like herself, but a little bit muted. But the conversation seems to be working. And yeah, I like that. I like that, man. That's good. I think that's a great place to leave that there. And then we're going to pivot back over to the drop ship's mech storage bay, where we will see Richie he's going to be on the other side. He's actually going to be over by the Griffin, where you're going to find him, Willow. And let me grab Richie here. And Richie he's working with a couple of the Aztecs. They're doing their job. They're making sure the Griffin's in good shape. And he's actually commenting. He goes, I gotta be honest, guys. I expected there to be some damage. All we gotta do is reload a couple things, and we'll be good to go. So looks like it's gonna be an early day for us. Keep up the good work, everybody. Oh, Willow. Hey, what can I do for you?
Hey, I hear you gave Cyprian some interesting request.
Sorry, sir. I don't follow. What do you mean?
You asked him to put someone else in charge?
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm good at my job. The extra responsibility, it's a little bit more. I just want to focus on, just working on the mechs, make sure everything's up and running. The whole clerical, managerial thing. I don't think it's working out. I think actually Tom, I know he's new, but Tom is doing a great job. I think he's a lot more inclined for, and he just starts to ramble on a little bit, making just a plethora of excuses.
So, Richie, if you're not taking the job, it's going to Dina. That means Dina will be your boss.
Are you sure that's a good
100%.
idea, sir?
No one else can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but I mean, it's
That's
Dina.
your choice.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
My choice?
You're the boss. Are you going to give up being the boss and give it to Dina? Or are you going to be the boss? What's more difficult for your life right now?
Do you ever doubt yourself, Willow?
Not in a long time, no.
Hey, can we get a drink real quick?
Yeah.
I want to pick your brain, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
And
Let's go.
and as he walks away, he says, "If I'm the boss, can I get like a badge or something, or maybe like a stripe or something like that?" I was thinking like the boss could be like a little name tag thing I could have. I mean, if I'm gonna do it, I want to go all into it. I want to lean into it, if that makes sense. Yeah. And then the two of you are gonna walk off, and he's gonna, just kind of set the scene. He's gonna be picking your brain about like just shooting the shit, and it's just talking about like, you're always confident, and he's trying to maybe get a feeling for how you do it, Willow. Like this just
Yeah.
straightforward, like you never really doubt yourself, you're always all in. And Richie's like that, but he's been a little shaken. So just being around someone that is confident in this way is going to do him some good. And long story short, he is going to accept to be the quote unquote boss, da boss, as it were, of the mech bay, of all the mech techs, the Aztecs. And he's going to take it a little bit more seriously than he had in the past. Not that he wasn't serious, but he's going to put a little bit more extra effort into it moving forward. But our last scene.
Well, Willow also fully endorses just a big patch that says the boss.
The boss. I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. But our last scene is actually going to be one where none of the mech warriors, none of the players are actually present. But we see Yinny, who is working on just ordering some additional supplies, making sure that the funds are transferred. She's doing the logistical thing. And we actually pivot over to the bridge of the dropship. We pivot over to the bridge of the dropship. And let me just grab the bridge here. And why can I... Wait, I'm on the map right now. Oh, there it is. Ha! Blip. All right, so we pivot over to the bridge of the dropship. We see Yinny. And as we watch, Yinny is typing in some information and just looking at supplies, how much you have, etc. But walking in, we see Esme, and Esme walks in and she says, "Hey, Yinny, do you have a quick second?" Yinny looks over. "Oh, Esme, yeah, no problem. How's the submission coming along?" And they have a quick conversation back and forth. And she says, "Oh, good. Just I had a quick question about Willow. I did a little research into the family names that he gave me, and I mean, I know records can be spotty sometimes, but for the life of me, I couldn't find any records of the surnames for his family." And he looks over and says, "Well, which surnames did he give you?" And Esme looks down and shows it to Yinny, and Yinny looks down and looks at her and says, "Nothing I would worry about." And that is actually going to be the last scene that we have here for part 1 of Mechwarrior Destiny Salvaged Destiny. And yeah, we are going to be on a 2-week break. So there's going to be a 2-week break for the show. We will be back on, and let me just make sure, Willow, I have this right. We're going to be back on the 9th is when you'll be free again. Is that correct? Because you're busy the 25th and the 2nd, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So we will be back on the 9th for, I guess, Season 2, Part 2 of Mechwarrior Destiny. And we're going to have a little bit of a time skip where it's going to be a year after the events of this session. And you guys are going to be well into being a mercenary company. And we're going to talk a little bit offline in the Discord server about what kind of things you have done. Would you have added some more mech warriors? Have you bought some additional mechs? The upgrades, things you've done. And we're going to talk about where you guys end up wanting to go in this kind of mercenary life that you've started here. But a great first mission. And we're going to talk Turkey as well. So just showing up, that is 1 XP. We had our scenes in the mech bay. We had our scenes in the meeting room. We had a scene between Callum and Willow. We had the battle. We had our scene between... You know what? I'm going to be crazy, and I'm probably going to regret this. We're just going to give you 10 XP. We're going to be crazy. And that's going to also mark that you've probably done a couple other missions between now and next session. But to our viewers, I just want to say thank you so much for stopping in and watching. To the players, thank you so much for playing. I'm really enjoying telling stories with you guys. You guys have been an absolute riot to play with, and the way that you have grown as a group has been really cool. And also, I want to say to Willow, I hope it's okay for me to mention the reason that you'll be off. Is that all right? Okay. So Willow's actually getting married. Strom, not Willow, the character, but Strom himself is getting married in 2 weeks. So we want to wish him well and congratulations. That's a great step in life. And I am excited for you. And I can't wait to hear about it. And then next weekend, he's also competing in a tournament for 40K. So we hope that he does well. But we're going to be taking that quick 2-week break. So we'll be back on the 9th of July. 9th of July for I guess, episode 1 of part 2. We'll just say episode 9 so that I can keep track of it. But that we're moving into the part 2 of Salvaged Destiny. So yeah, really excited. Any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns from the players before we hop off for the evening or the afternoon?
Nope, nothing for me.
All right, guys. Well, you're all fantastic. Thank you so much for going on this adventure. And again, thank you to the viewers for viewing. Thank you for the players for playing. And as I always say at the end of every session, happy gaming, everybody. We will catch you next time for part 9, or session 9 of Mechwarrior Destiny Salvaged Destiny. Good night, everybody.